Hello, everybody. Welcome to a special edition of Joe and Chris Talking Baseball podcast. I am Joe Jacquet alongside my co-host Chris Lacey. How are you doing, Chris?
Good, Joe. How are you doing?
Doing pretty well. It must be cold where you are right now.
It's a little chilly.
Just a little. Just a little.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have decided to do a special edition of the show just to preview the homestand, and then there's been some news lately, so we decided why not talk about it with you guys. So we are live, and let's get it going. The D-backs tonight are starting a three-game series with the San Francisco Giants, and then they also play the San Diego Padres this weekend, starting Friday through Sunday. So that'll be the homestand. For me, with this Giants series, the Diamondbacks were really good against the NL West last year. The Giants struggled at Chase Field. They went 2-8. They were out homered 17-9, and their pitchers had a 6.18 ERA. So, and the pitchers are pretty much the same, except the fact that the Giants are without Jeff Samardzija and they're without Madison Bumgarner. So it could be a struggle. Tonight's game, though, Patrick Corbin against Johnny Cueto, it could be a good pitching matchup. Corbin's obviously been pitching really well, but we don't know what Cueto we're going to get. He's coming off the disabled list. What's your read on the matchup tonight?
I think Corbin's gonna set the tone early, mixing his fastball with his slider, and I expect Corbin to have a good start. And then hopefully the offense can give Corbin some run support. Maybe Goldie will hit a homer, and maybe someone else from the lineup will also contribute as well. But also D-back second baseman Ketel Marte is also riding a 10-game hitting streak as well. So hopefully he can continue that streak tonight.
And he did well against the Giants in San Francisco, where the D-backs actually took 2 of 3. They've started the season really well against NL West opponents. That obviously has to continue. And the Giants and Padres are simply not doing very well. The Padres are scoring more than they used to. The Giants aren't scoring at all. So if the D-backs are really going to keep hold of the NL West, and the Dodgers won last night, so they look to be maybe rounding into form. Then the D-backs need to take advantage and win these games, especially considering they're at home, where the D-backs had such a big advantage last year. There's really no excuse. They lead the MLB in run differential. I don't know about you, but I don't think there's any excuse.
No, they should at least take two or three from the Giants and hopefully sweep the Padres.
Yes. Yeah, I totally agree. The upcoming pitching matchups for the next 2 games on Wednesday, right-hander Chris Stratton will go up against left-hander Robbie Ray. And then on Thursday, Ty Block, the left-hander, will go up against the right-hander Zach Greinke for the series finale. Obviously Ray and Greinke need to get it going because they haven't been very good so far this year. Greinke was a little bit better in his last start. Ray was actually a lot better than his previous starts, but one pitch to Buster Posey kind of did his outing in. And for me, he only lasted 4 2/3 innings. I'd like to see Ray go longer into games than he has, and that just means throwing fewer pitches. And then Zach Greinke, he needs to. I mean, hopefully his back is not an issue again, but I expect him to pitch better this week. This start, especially when he's facing a Giants team that isn't scoring very many runs. But what do you think about Ray and Greinke? What are you looking to see from each of them?
I just want to see Ray be more efficient on the mound, because in his last start he threw way too many pitches, and then that hit by Posey just really ruined his outing. And then as far as Greinke's concerned, I just want to see Greinke just dominate a bad Giants lineup. I'm looking for Greinke to possibly go 7 innings and then just really shut down this weak Giants lineup.
Yeah, on the Giants side, what's the one hitter that you're fearful of that the D-backs pitchers should be fearful of?
For the Giants, it's always Posey. I always worry with Posey if there's guys on base, and right now Posey is off to a great start for the season. He's hitting over 300. He's a lone power threat in the lineup, other than maybe McCutchen. So if we can just keep Posey from hitting balls out of the park, I think D-back should be in great shape.
Yeah, the other guy that I guess I'm semi-afraid of is Andrew McCutchen, just because he has been heating up and he did do some damage against the D-backs in San Francisco. So he apparently likes hitting against them. And then I guess the guys that I'm looking forward to seeing do damage on the D-back side, some key players are going to be Pollock, especially tonight, but Pollock and Goldschmidt. Pollock leads the NL in doubles. He has a great average against Cueto in his career. Goldschmidt has crushed Cueto, and he's also red hot. So those two guys are going to be very critical in this series. For you, I guess some other guys that you're looking for the Diamondbacks to be key guys. I know you mentioned Ketel Marte, but
yeah. For me, I'm looking for Peralta to just set the tone from being the leadoff hitter. Hopefully he'll get on, maybe hit a couple doubles during the series, get into scoring position, and then provide opportunity for Marte, Goldie, Pollock to possibly drive him in, and also to see maybe if Nick Ahmed can continue hitting well. So.
And then I think the other key thing to mention here is the Diamondbacks have been doing really well in their last, I think, 20 or so times they've faced a left-hander. And they will face left-hander tie block in the series finale. So I think the key is if you can win one of the first two games, you feel pretty good about facing a lefty with hopefully an improved Greinke on the mound. I expect at least 2 out of 3 in this series. I don't know. Chris Stratton has been pitching really well, so I think the Giants will win the game against Ray, even though Ray might have a better outing. And I think D-backs will take the first and third games to win the series. What's your prediction?
I'm actually thinking they can actually sweep the Giants because I think they have the better pitching matchup in all 3 games. And at least the positive about this lefty is that it's not Kershaw. So
exactly, and block doesn't exactly overpower people. So
no,
that's the one lefty I guess they've had trouble with. But everybody has trouble with Clayton Kershaw. So that's kind of an anomaly right there in and of itself. And I guess Chris, we've had some injury news today to talk about. I guess first of all, Taijuan Walker has a what looks to be a UCL injury, but Lovello is not ready to say whether he needs Tommy John surgery. But obviously, first we saw right forearm tightness, then a UCL. The MRI news was delayed for like a long time. So all of this does not combine for a good thing for the D-backs. Hopefully Walker's fine. We talked about that a little yesterday, but they're obviously going to need someone to step up. I personally think, we talked about this pre-show, but I personally think that they might need to go out and get a pitcher at the deadline from a team that's not contending, because I think Hazen set the D-backs up pretty well to do that. I just don't know if I trust Shipley and Cook to do it for the long haul. They might be able to do it for one start or two, but if Walker's out the whole year, that could be an issue.
Yeah. So Walker is actually on his way to New York to get a second opinion tomorrow. So hopefully the second opinion will yield better news than what he got today. And also some of the options, as you already said, Matt Cook and Braden Shipley are obviously the 2 options to actually get the to start Friday against the Padres, depending on the news that Walker gets from the second opinion. Also possibly Taylor Clark is also an option. But as you said, if Cook and Shipley don't pitch well in Walker's absence, then maybe going after the Rays, Chris Archer might be an option towards the trade deadline.
Talk about a bolster in the rotation. And then we also can't forget Shelby Miller, who might be coming back, but we don't really know about him. It's still kind of up in the air. Hopefully all of this is for naught and Walker's fine, because the team and Walker seem to be very optimistic despite the news. And then also you have some, I guess Jake Lamb is possibly getting ready to come back.
Yeah, it was announced today that tomorrow Jake Lamb is going to play in an extended spring training game. So I think if that game goes well for Lamb, he hits, and then he also plays in the field, and he has no problems with his shoulder. Then I would expect Lamb to possibly be activated off the DL either in the third game of the Giants series or possibly in the opening game against the Padres on Friday, as long as Lamb has no issues tomorrow in that extended spring training game, which would be a boost for the D-backs lineup as well.
Definitely. He does need to improve against lefties, but he's a run producer. The thing I worry about is I just hope that Descalso will continue to get playing time, because even when Lamb comes back, because the bottom line is Descalso's batting average may be below 200, but that's very deceiving, because I've read stuff that says that he has hit the third highest percentage of hard hit balls this season.
Wow.
Which shows you that he is getting very, very, very unlucky. Like, his
Yes.
BABIP is very low, which proves that he should be able to break out. He had that one game where he drove in 4 runs, so he's hitting the ball really hard, and that's where batting average doesn't really do it. And so I just hope that he continues to play, especially against lefties, which he kind of has those reverse splits, which is weird. But I just hope that he continues to play even if Lamb comes back. And then Steven Souza Jr. is another update. I guess he is starting to swing the bat, but they're still being careful with him. Yeah. I guess this could possibly have an impact on Chris Owings' playing time.
Yeah, because the D-backs decided this offseason to use Owings in a super utility role. So I think once Souza does come back, Owings will be relegated to being the team's 4th outfielder, and possibly getting some starts maybe at a shortstop or second base on days when Marte just needs a rest. So Chris Owings will probably see his playing time decrease once Souza is activated off the DL.
Which could be bad, because Owings has also started the season really red hot. He's hitting over 300, and so is Marte, and so is Nick Ahmed. And so, like, where are you going to – Torey Lovello, I guess, has a good problem right now with so many guys playing very well. I just don't know how he's going to be able to get all those guys playing time to keep them ready and fresh and playing well. Yeah.
It is a good problem to have, because they have so many good hitters, and now it's just up to Torey to just find playing time for all these guys to as you said, keep them fresh, and then when it's game time, hopefully they can contribute and help the D-backs continue winning.
You might have some platoon situations develop as a result. And then also Evan Longoria is apparently going to miss this series. Might miss the whole series.
He might, yeah. He was actually a late scratch for tonight's game. It's an ankle injury that is flared up during spring training, and actually the injury happened tonight as he was standing and he was watching Derek Collins' side session. So it's a weird way for his ankle injury to flare up again. But yeah, so. Bochy said that Longoria is going to be out a couple of days, so it looks like at third base for tonight's game and possibly the series, it'll be Pablo Sandoval. So
the Panda,
yeah.
And then he showed in a recent game that he can still do some damage with a home run. So, but Longoria hasn't really gotten going, so I don't know if that will impact the Giants too much one way or the other, but obviously the bottom line is they cannot avoid freak injuries.
No, they can't.
Bumgarner's dirt bike accident, and now Longoria somehow gets injured watching a side session. I don't even know how the hell that could happen. You're just standing there watching a side session. How can you get injured? Doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't.
All right. Thanks for tuning into this special edition of Joe and Chris Talking Baseball. We previewed the homestand and specifically the Giants series, and we also talked about some of the latest injury news. This was kind of a spur-of-the-moment thing, but I thought it'd be cool to do. It's pretty fun. Thanks, Chris, as always, and thank you to all of you who are watching. And this broadcast will be available in audio form and also just on video if you want to rewatch it. So. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. I'm Joe Jacquet, and my partner, Chris Lacey. And have a good night, everybody. Enjoy the game, and hopefully the D-backs can come out on top.